Think back to when you were 10 years old. Remember how you moved? You didn't just walk, you sprinted. You jumped over puddles, you vaulted over fences, and you leaped off the playground equipment without a second thought. Your body was a coiled spring, vibrating with explosive, limitless energy. Welcome to Dr. Levitas. Now look at how you move today. When was the exact moment you stopped jumping? When was the last time you ran at your absolute maximum speed just to see how fast you could go? Most cannot remember. Many feel like slowing down, like joints are getting heavier, and write it off as the inevitable, tragic reality of getting older. But your age has very little to do with your physical decline. You are not getting old and weak because of the calendar on the wall. Today, we are going to completely redefine aging. We are going to look under the hood of your cellular machinery and expose the biological mechanism that's stealing your youth. We are talking about fast-twitch decay, and why preserving your explosive engine is the ultimate secret to human longevity. To understand why you are slowing down, we first have to look at the microscopic architecture of your skeletal muscle. Your muscles are not just uniform blocks of meat. They are highly complex bundles of distinct fibers, primarily divided into two main categories, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 fibers are your slow twitch or endurance fibers. I want you to imagine these as highly fuel-efficient hybrid cars. They are packed with mitochondria, they use oxygen brilliantly, and they are designed to go for hours and hours without fatiguing. When you go for a long walk, maintain your posture at your desk, or hold a light grocery bag, your type 1 fibers are doing the work. Type 2 fibers are your fast twitch or explosive fibers. These are the top fuel dragsters of your biology. They do not care about fuel efficiency. They are designed for one thing: generating massive, explosive force in a fraction of a second. When you sprint for a bus, jump to catch a falling glass, or lift a heavy piece of furniture, your brain bypasses the hybrid cars and instantly fires up the dragsters. Type 2 fibers are larger, significantly more powerful, and give your muscles their dense, athletic shape. Here is where the tragedy of modern aging begins. In a perfectly optimized human body, you use both sets of fibers equally. But in our modern, sedentary world, we have completely eliminated the need for explosive movement. And human biology is brutally efficient. If you do not use a tissue, your body will refuse to spend the metabolic energy to keep it alive. Beginning right around your 30th birthday, a terrifying biological clock starts ticking. Clinical literature reveals that after age 30, you begin to lose your type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers at double, yes, twice, the rate of your type 1 endurance fibers. Why? Because your daily life only requires endurance. You walk to the car, you sit at a desk, you walk through the grocery store. Your brain says, we use the type 1 hybrid cars every day, so we will keep them fueled, but we haven't fired up the dragsters in 5 years. Shut them down. The specific motor neurons in your spinal cord that connect to your fast-twitch fibers literally disconnect and die off through a process called apoptosis. The fast-twitch fibers, having lost their neurological signal, wither away and are replaced by fat and stiff connective tissue. You aren't just losing muscle, you are specifically losing the muscle that keeps you powerful. This targeted decay of your explosive fibers is the exact mechanical root cause of one of the most visible signs of aging: the old person shuffle. We have all seen it. As people age, their stride gets shorter, their feet drag, and they become terrified of uneven surfaces. We assume this is because their legs are weak, but the truth is much more specific. It is not a lack of absolute strength, it is a profound lack of speed. Think about the mechanics of tripping. If you catch your toe on a rug, gravity instantly starts pulling your face toward the floor. To save yourself, you don't need endurance. You need explosive speed. Your brain must instantly fire a massive neurological signal to your leg, commanding it to shoot forward in a fraction of a second to catch your entire body weight. That life-saving split-second reaction is 100% dependent on your type 2 fast-twitch fibers. If those fibers have decayed because you stopped using them in your 30s and 40s, your legs simply cannot move fast enough to catch you. A minor stumble becomes a catastrophic, hip-shattering fall. Your brain subconsciously knows this. Your nervous system is incredibly smart. It senses that your explosive engine is gone and that you have lost the ability to catch yourself. So to keep you safe, your brain forces you to change your gait. It forces you to keep your feet close to the ground. It creates the shuffle. The shuffle is a neurological adaptation to the decay of your fast-twitch fibers. So, how do most well-intentioned people try to fight this physical decline? They buy a pair of running shoes and they start jogging. I need to be very clear. Jogging, cycling, and walking are fantastic for your cardiovascular system. They are wonderful for your heart health and your mental well-being. But when it comes to preserving your youth and saving your fast-twitch fibers, steady-state cardio is a complete biological deception. When you jog at a steady, comfortable pace, you are strictly recruiting your type 1 slow-twitch endurance fibers. Because the physical demand is low and steady, your brain never needs to recruit the larger, more powerful motor units. You can run 5 miles a day, 7 days a week, and your type 2 fast-twitch fibers will still be quietly suffocating from neurological neglect. You are building an incredible cardiovascular engine, but you are still letting the muscular dragster rust in the garage. To stop the decay, you have to force your brain to plug those motor neurons back into the fast-twitch fibers. You have to demand explosive force. But I am not asking a 55-year-old with bad knees to suddenly go outside and do dangerous, high-impact box jumps. There is a much smarter, safer biological hack, and it revolves around a concept called intent to move fast. This hack relies on a physiological law known as Henneman's size principle. This principle states that your body recruits muscle fibers in order of size. It uses the small, slow-twitch fibers first for light tasks, and only calls upon the massive, fast-twitch fibers when the demand is extremely high. You can create this extreme demand safely through heavy resistance training. Let's say you are performing a safe, controlled leg press or a chest press. If you put a heavy enough weight on the machine, a weight that you can only lift safely for 5 to 8 repetitions, an incredible biological shift happens. Because the weight is heavy, it will move slowly. But your intent must be to push it as fast and explosively as you possibly can. Even if the bar is barely moving, the neurological intent to move it fast forces your central nervous system to panic. Your brain realizes the slow-twitch fibers are failing, so it reaches deep into your spinal cord and forcefully activates the dormant fast-twitch motor units. By simply lifting heavy weights with explosive intent, you are breathing literal life back into the exact fibers that prevent aging. Alongside heavy lifting, we need to reintroduce true speed into your life. But again, we prioritize sustainability and joint health. You do not need to head to a high school track and tear your hamstring trying to sprint a 100-meter dash. We are looking for the minimum effective dose of explosive movement. The safest way to train pure speed is through low-impact, high-resistance sprints. The stationary bike, particularly an air bike or a spin bike with heavy resistance, is the ultimate anti-aging tool. Once or twice a week, after a thorough warm-up, I want you to perform a sprint. But this is not a fast pedal. This is an all-out, maximum effort, running from a bear exertion. You push the pedals as violently and as fast as humanly possible for exactly 10 to 15 seconds, and then you completely stop and recover for 2 minutes. You repeat this just 4 or 5 times. That 10-second burst of maximum velocity sends a massive electrical shockwave through your nervous system. It demands that every single type 2 fiber in your legs fires simultaneously. It is brief enough that it won't cause excessive muscular damage, but it is intense enough to chemically signal to your body, we still need the dragster. Keep these fibers alive. The benefits of preserving your fast-twitch fibers extend far beyond just having strong, capable legs. By fighting fast-twitch decay, you are actively protecting the master control room of your entire body, your central nervous system. Aging is, at its core, a neurological disease. As we get older, the communication pathways between our brain and our muscles begin to fray and degrade. Our reaction times slow down. Our cognitive processing speed declines. We lose our neurological snap. But your nervous system thrives on high-threshold electrical stimuli. When you train for speed, when you lift heavy weights with explosive intent, and when you do those 10-second maximum effort sprints, you are forcing your brain to fire high-voltage action potentials down your spinal cord. You are strengthening the myelin sheath, the insulation around your nerves, which keeps the electrical signals traveling at lightning speed. By demanding explosive physical output, you are actively driving neuroplasticity. You are keeping the brain-to-muscle connection incredibly sharp, robust, and youthful. You aren't just building a body that refuses to shuffle. You are building a highly resilient, lightning-fast brain that refuses to age. The doctor's verdict: revive your snap velocity. You do not have to accept the slow, steady decline into frailty. The old person shuffle is not a life sentence. It is a symptom of mechanical starvation. By understanding the critical importance of your type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers, you can fundamentally change the trajectory of your physical life. By lifting heavy weights with explosive intent, and by reintroducing brief, safe, maximum effort sprints into your weekly routine, you can resurrect your dormant motor units, protect your nervous system, and reclaim the explosive, youthful engine you thought you lost on the playground. Stay explosive, demand more from your biology, and I will see you in the next video. Watch this video suggestion. It was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.